Here's what most men get wrong about being memorable. They think it's about being perfect. They think it's about saying the right things, buying the right gifts, or performing the right acts of romance. But that's exactly why they're forgettable. The man who burns into her memory forever operates on a completely different frequency. He's not trying to impress her. He's living his truth so authentically that she can't help but be drawn into his orbit. He's not chasing her validation. He's so secure in his own worth that her opinion becomes just one voice in a crowd of many. This isn't about manipulation or playing hard to get. This is about becoming the kind of man whose very essence leaves an imprint on everyone he encounters. The kind of man who doesn't just pass through her life, he transforms it. So buckle up, because we're about to explore 7 psychological principles that separate the forgettable from the unforgettable. And by the end of this, you'll understand why some men become footnotes while others become the standard by which every other man is measured. Picture 2 men walking into the same room. The first one scans for approval, adjusts his behavior based on the crowd, and tries to fit in. The second one enters with his own energy so strong that the room subtly shifts to match his vibe. Guess which one she remembers? The unforgettable man has mastered something most men never even attempt: energy management. He doesn't try to control her emotions, her thoughts, or her reactions. That's amateur hour. Instead, he controls something far more powerful: the energy of every space he enters. His calm isn't the absence of intensity. It's intensity under complete control. When chaos erupts around him, he becomes the eye of the storm. When others are reactive, he's responsive. When people are loud, his quiet confidence speaks volumes. This is magnetic because it's rare. Most men are emotional pinballs, bouncing off whatever energy hits them. But this man? He's the steady force that others orbit around. She can't rattle him because he's not looking to her for emotional stability. He is emotional stability. And here's the kicker. When a woman can't affect your emotional state, she becomes obsessed with understanding your mental state. She starts studying you instead of testing you. And that shift from testing to studying? That's when you've moved from her entertainment to her fascination. Most men announce their worth like they're running for office. They list accomplishments, drop hints about their success, and practically hand out resume in conversation. But the unforgettable man? His life is his resume, and he never needs to say a word. You can see his value in his choices, the way he spends his time, the standards he maintains, the boundaries he refuses to negotiate. His worth isn't something he talks about. It's something you witness in real time. When he makes a decision, you can sense the thought process behind it. When he sets a boundary, you can feel the self-respect that created it. When he chooses to engage or disengage, you understand that it's coming from a place of abundance, not scarcity. This kind of embodied confidence is intoxicating because it's authentic. You can't fake this energy. You can't pretend your way into this kind of presence. It comes from years of making hard choices, honoring your own values, and building a life you're genuinely proud of. And here's what makes it unforgettable. She doesn't feel like she's dating his potential or his promises. She's experiencing his reality. And once a woman has tasted what it feels like to be with a man who truly knows his worth, everyone else feels like a downgrade. Passion is temporary. Purpose is permanent. And women can sense the difference immediately. The passionate man gets excited about things, his hobbies, his interests, his momentary obsessions. But the purposeful man? He's driven by something deeper. He has a vision that gets him up before his alarm goes off. He has goals that make him say no to instant gratification. He has a mission that's bigger than any relationship. This isn't about being unavailable or treating her like she's unimportant. It's about being so committed to your path that she realizes she's not just dating a man, she's potentially joining a movement. When she sees you prioritize your purpose over momentary pleasures, something shifts in her perception. She stops seeing you as someone who needs her and starts seeing you as someone she could learn from. She stops thinking about what she can get from you and starts wondering what she could become alongside you. The unforgettable man doesn't make her his whole world because he already has a whole world. And paradoxically, that's exactly what makes her want to earn a permanent place in it. She doesn't want to be your everything. She wants to be chosen by someone who could survive without her but chooses not to. Every woman tests. Not because she wants to hurt you, but because she needs to know if you're as solid as you appear. And while most men either fail the test or get angry about being tested, the unforgettable man does something different. He appreciates it. He understands that her tests aren't personal attacks, they're quality control. She's not trying to break him. She's trying to discover if he's truly unbreakable. And when she pushes and he doesn't budge, when she creates chaos and he maintains his peace, when she tries to provoke a reaction and he responds with understanding, that's when she feels safe. But here's the crucial difference. He doesn't just pass her tests, he studies them. He recognizes them as information about what she needs to feel secure. He sees through the surface behavior to the deeper need underneath. When she goes quiet, he doesn't panic, he gives her space. When she creates distance, he doesn't chase, he respects her process. When she throws attitude, he doesn't take it personally. He recognizes it as her way of checking if he's still the rock she can rely on. This level of emotional intelligence and stability is rare. Most men either become doormats or walls. But the unforgettable man becomes a mountain, immovable when necessary, but with depths worth exploring. In a world where everyone overshares on social media and dumps their entire life story on the first date, mystery has become a superpower. The unforgettable man understands that intrigue is more powerful than information. This isn't about being secretive or deceptive. It's about having depth that can't be fully explored in a single conversation. It's about being complex enough that she discovers new layers the longer she knows you. It's about having a rich inner life that you don't feel compelled to broadcast to the world. He shares strategically, not desperately. He reveals himself gradually, not all at once. And because he has genuine substance to reveal, each discovery feels like finding treasure rather than hitting bottom. Most men think that opening up completely creates intimacy, but the opposite is true. Intimacy is created through the gradual unveiling of depth, not the immediate dumping of information. It's the difference between slowly unwrapping a carefully chosen gift and having someone throw their entire wallet at you. The unforgettable man keeps her curious because there's always more to discover. She never feels like she's solved the puzzle of who he is, which means she never gets bored exploring it. And that sense of ongoing discovery? That's what keeps her mind occupied long after he's left the room. Here's where most men destroy themselves. They accept crumbs and call it a feast. They tolerate disrespect and call it compromise. They chase after scraps of attention and convince themselves they're being patient, but the unforgettable man operates differently. He doesn't argue about standards, he embodies them. He doesn't explain why he deserves respect. He simply won't engage where it's absent. He doesn't compete for attention. He creates environments where attention flows naturally to him. This isn't arrogance. It's self-preservation. He understands that teaching someone to value you is impossible, but showing them the consequences of not valuing you is incredibly effective. When faced with poor treatment, he doesn't explode in anger or shrink in hurt. He simply removes his presence. Not as punishment, but as natural consequence. Not as manipulation, but as self-respect in action. This creates a fascinating dynamic. She realizes that access to him isn't guaranteed, that his time and energy are finite resources, that his presence in her life is a privilege, not a right. And once a woman understands that a high-value man can walk away at any time, she starts treating him like the valuable asset he is. The unforgettable man doesn't demand to be treated well. He simply won't stick around where he isn't. And that boundary, maintained consistently and without drama, teaches everyone around him exactly what he's worth. So here's the truth that no one wants to tell you. Becoming unforgettable isn't about her. It's about you. It's about becoming so authentically, powerfully, undeniably yourself that anyone who encounters you is changed by the experience. You don't become unforgettable by trying to be unforgettable. You become unforgettable by becoming undeniable. By living with such purpose, such integrity, such unshakable self-worth that your very existence challenges everyone around you to level up. The man she can't forget isn't the one who chased the hardest or loved the loudest. He's the one who loved himself first, lived his truth consistently, and maintained his standards regardless of who was watching. Stop trying to be memorable and start being undeniable. Stop trying to impress her and start impressing yourself. Stop asking if you're good enough and start becoming so excellent that the question becomes irrelevant. Because when you live like this, when you become this, you don't just burn into one woman's memory. You become the standard by which every future man in her life will be measured. You become the ghost that haunts every relationship that comes after you, and that's not because you were perfect. It's because you were real. And in a world full of pretenders, authenticity is the rarest and most unforgettable quality of all. Now go build a life so compelling that forgetting you becomes impossible.